Hi. Hello. My name, Bob. I am not sure how I got here. I am Bob. Hi, that is me. I don't know what I'm doing here. I certainly will tell you that I am, here. There's supposed to be another lad here, but, I have taken his residence for a moment. Okay, this is a dumb bit. Anyways, hi, hello, it's me, the local virtual baker, Saltea Kichee, and I forgot this. Okay, hi, hello. I will have to be 100% honest with you lads, and I must tell you, I am getting raided. Hi, oh, hi, Mima. Hi, Mima. Hi, hello. Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome in. You are here. I am really glad that you're here because thank you for the follow.
3 times 7?
Clip.
7 plus 7 is 17. And then 17 plus 3 equals 20, which then plus 3 plus 5? No, 3 plus 25?
3 plus 5 is not 25. Okay, good to know. Mima's bad at math. That sounds about right. Alright, let me shout you out, Mima. Alrighty! Hi. Are you yo, you rude? Hey, listen, it's not my fault you can't count. Alright, so today is a bit of a rush and a bit of a panic because there's a funny American holiday, as you may or may not know, called Thanksgiving. And on Thanksgiving, I have been tasked to make not 1, not 2, not 3, but 5 things. I got 3 of the 5 things done, but 2 of the other 5 things I need to do is undoubtedly a lot more, to say at the very least. There's a lot more intricacies, there's a lot more that needs to get done, and I prolonged this a little bit longer than I need to, so yeah, I think I'm just gonna stop talking and actually just get into the kitchen and then start talking. First and foremost, Mima, thank you for the thank you for the raid. If you need to go do your thing, go do what you need to do. Yeah, if you need to go do your thing, you need to go rest, go do your thing, go sleep, go eat, I don't know what you need to do, go take a shower, make some tea. We're about to do a lot of stuff today. I have to make sure I, not crash and burn, but get as much stuff as I can done today, and if I can't get it done today, I can at least do it tomorrow night, so I gotta do the big stuff today, which is gonna be the fun stuff to do, and hopefully maybe to watch. So, I stream for 6 hours, so yeah, I'm gonna go eat. Yeah, get the hell out of here, go to sleep, goddamn. See ya, Mima, bye-bye. Alright. Anyways. Okay. It is time to mutilate, murder, and destroy things. First and foremost, I'm a little scared. I kinda fixed up my positioning of my camera, so hopefully it is better. Woo, look at that, it's all, whoa. Let me put my apron on. So I gotta do a few things. First and foremost, I have to break down an entire turkey. So that's gonna be fun. But before I do that, I actually have to cut up this sourdough. This really shoddy looking sourdough, honestly. Because I am making something called stuffing. Stuffing, if you don't know, is basically, if you know what bread pudding is, that is bread pudding. bread pudding is okay. This is like a savory bread pudding, essentially. That's what stuffing really is. By the way, I'm gonna eat like Mima. It's 5 a.m. Yeah, go to hell asleep. Get out of here. My God, go sleep. Get scoot, skedaddle. Go sleep. See you around. See you around. Anyways, for you lot that are still here, I'm going to explain the scenario that we are in right now. So, I have been tasked to make a lot of things, and I have procrastinated just a little bit because I was actually supposed to get started on doing stuff like 2 hours ago, but for some reason, I don't really know the reason to why, I was extremely exhausted and tired, and I just couldn't push myself to do anything. So, lo and behold, I didn't do anything and decided to take a little bit of a nap, and also got myself food and self-care. One would even say, like, oh, it's wonderful, it's lovely to sit down and then realize 2 hours later, like, oh shoot, I need to actually get stuff done, because well, I have a lot of stuff on my list here that I still need to do, and even though I'm making 2 things, like, I only need to make 2 things in essence, the 2 things I gotta make are still very, very time consuming and big. So, I'm gonna have to try and get this all done, at least the hard parts today, so I can then have an easier time, possibly, maybe tomorrow? Who's to say? I do not know, and it's the only thing I know that I need to do is get this stuff done today, so then I don't have to kill myself tomorrow. But yes, that is the situation, that is the scenario, that is the problem we are in, and I am going to maybe show off my expertise in knife skills, maybe. Or maybe I might completely botch it up. Maybe I might cut my finger. Maybe I might actually harm my flesh body that I use and possess for every sort of cooking stream I do. And also, on top of it all, hi Berg, first of all, hi Berg. Second of all, I actually might do another test of some Vtuber breads today, because I forgot to do this yesterday. This wasn't supposed to be a stream, I just kind of was in the mood to do like some Vtuber breads. But then I got distracted because I was talking to some of my good friends, and then next thing you know, it's like, oh, what am I missing? I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something, but I completely forgot what it was. Then today I remembered what that was, and I realized, goddamn, I not wasted, but I completely forgot about doing that. Now I kind of feel like dumb. Because first, I gotta sneeze. Phew! 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 Okay, sorry about that. I don't like these bodily functions. What was I talking about? I forgot that the sneezes just made. Oh yeah, VTuber bread stuff. I wanted to do some more VTuber breads, so there was that. Oh shoot, that's please, body, you don't flesh body, stop it. You're not sick. I mean, you're I'm sick as fuck. What do I mean? But like, okay, you can leave. I'm so delirious right now. I'm making the stupidest goddamn pieces of talking, and you guys can leave. I'm embarrassed. Leave. Go. Get out of here. No, I'm done. I'm done talking. Anyways, Vtuber bread. Yeah, I want to make some I wanted to test out some more recipes yesterday. Like, I want to try out Mips bread a bit more, but I forgot about doing that completely. But I think I honestly might do, what is it? What's her name? Cyanna's bread today. Just because, as a pineapple, at my job we throw away so much stuff I know one of the things that we throw away along with a bucket of things is pineapple. And for the you lot that probably were not here, I'm trying to make a pan sobao. It's a Puerto Rican kind of bread. It's basically like your average kind of white bread, but it's a touch sweeter. It's long, it's big, it's fluffy, it's soft. It's your average sort of not milk, but white bread sort of ordeal. But the things that made it, I wanted to make it more funny and quirky because she is a neat. I thought it would be really goddamn funny, really funny. I thought if I made her into what is it? I made her into. It's gonna come to me. It's gonna come to me. It's gonna come to me. Instead of using water, I used not gamer subs because I already did that with Val. So. And also I don't think she has a Gamer Subs flavor, so that's not really an option. But I use Legally Distinct. I'm not gonna say the brand name just because I believe there's copyright. Legally Distinct sports drink that happens to be very cyan. So yeah. Now there is one small thing about the recipe that I forgot about completely. Until like the moment I was actually mixing it, is that the original recipe I wanted to go with was actually different. I didn't want to just do a Gatorade pan sobao. I also wanted to make it into hold on. I also wanted to add like caramelized pineapple because it's for one thing. I think that'd just be kind of nice. Add a little bit of fruitiness, sweetness, all that whatnot, and it pays kind of homage to like I guess her ethnic background, and although I'm not sure if she would be comfortable with it, this is something that I can be told if it is something that brings bad memories, but it plays homage to I guess like her past life, I guess, even though the past life is. It's weird. Well, it's not weird in a bad way. It's not like anything weird. Actually, it's not weird at all. It's good for her either way around it, but you maybe can generally get the idea. I don't know. I actually don't know if it's even a sensitive topic for her. I haven't really figured it out, but I am all but a very silly and stupid lad that likes bread, and I like to be cute with my inspiration, I guess. So, how are you guys doing today? I am quite tired. I actually just had a quick little pick-me-up a few moments ago. I don't really even have these pick-me-ups anymore because for some reason, I don't exactly know the semantic behind it, but my antidepressants, they apparently invigorate me and give me energy, which is nice. Along with stopping my depression and anxiety, stopping the brainworms from growing and mass producing, they also accelerate my brain function. It makes me like goddamn Albert Einstein and become 20 times smarter, a little bit faster, but just a little bit more quirked up than your average white boy. That's weird. I don't know why I said white boy. I'm not even white. Well, I mean, I am white. I'm like washed, as I love to continue saying, but I digress. Alright. So, there's a lot of stuff I need to still do. I still have. Ooh. I'm gonna cut all the vegetables first because I'm trying to think like order of operations. What's gonna be the longest thing to do, and then what's gonna be the shortest thing to do. I actually probably want to start off with making stuffing. But it's gonna be kind of fun because when I make the stuffing, I also have to make stock. because the stuffing actually can't be made until I make the stock. But to make the stock, I need to break down my turkey. But I can't break down my turkey because my turkey is still there. But I also, it's just a whole lot of stuff, a whole lot of order of operations, and they just kind of all upon each other because it's just a lot of stuff and needs done. I also gotta get my big ol' favorite. Come here, please. Whew. God damn it. Why must I be cursed with being short? Because I can barely reach this. Okay. I have to get my good old reliable large stock pot. Big old tall pot. I throw many things in here. For one thing, I'm gonna start throwing in stuff and things. Because I gotta make stock. And I got a lot of help from my job. Because along with me prepping stuff here, I've also been prepping stuff at my job because my job is, well, stuff that does a lot of stuff with food, so able to get a lot of help done from there. So yes. But all this talk aside, how have you all been doing today? As I continually try to scramble to get all this stuff done within a reasonable amount of time. I guess if you really think about it, you could say I'm like trying to try and speed run cooking right now. Because I need to, god damn it, you know, I hate when I'm trying to explain something, but I'm so chronically online that I have to explain everything within gaming terms, because my dumbass can't explain things without talking about, like, video games. The video game-tisms. But, yes, essentially, right now, I am trying to do almost a mad dash. Kind of a dash, it's not really running too much here. But I'm trying to get as much stuff done as I can, because I only have like 2 days, 3 days, 2 days I think, no, 2 days, to get as much food prep done as I can, because by the time Thanksgiving comes around, I have to go right to work. When I go right to work, I'm not going to be able to do anything, and then the moment I'm out of my job, I'm going to get kidnapped, and I'm going to be sent to a different server, and then I got to go see my parents there, and then they're expecting me to make this so much food for them, but once more, I'm kind of I'm kind of struggling with time. So, to be fair, this is also my fault because my parents were always telling me like, Salt, if you need to, son, if you need to, if you need to slow down, if you need to do less, you can, but for some reason I'm a dumbass overachiever that can't not give myself a hard task. I love giving myself a hard time, I guess. So here I am, making 5 items for my family because I love them so much. It sounded really sarcastic, but you must understand, I breathe and speak sarcasm. I do love them. I'm just very, I'm just very me. So right now, as I have said 20 times already, it's a mad dash. The mad dash to get to point A to point B. And currently, point A, cutting all of this stuff up to a proper size so I can actually be able to cook this when the time comes. So right now, I'm just doing some rough, small dices on all these carrots. It's only 2 carrots, so it's not really that much, but still. It's a lot if you really think about it. Either way around it, I'm putting a lot of love into what I gotta do here. But it's also kind of nice, because even though I do have to put a lot of love into this, I've had a lot of stuff in my refrigerator that I've been saving for this very day, because I know that down the line I could definitely use this in A, B, and C. Like, what is it? At my job, we did like a smoked turkey thigh. So I took some of this turkey thigh. It's nicely smoked. So it's shredded as well. So in this stuffing, I'm gonna add some smoked turkey thigh, add some nice meaty, smoky flavors. But also the nice thing is that I actually have smoked salt. If you don't know what smoked salt is, I would like for you to use your brain for 5 minutes and just take a guess to what smoked salt is. If you still need me to hand feed you the answer, it is salt that has been smoked. What a absolute wonder of the world. But let me tell you, great, delicious, fun to use, because not only is it just good salt, it also makes your food smoky without actually needing to throw it into a smoker or something. And that's just good flavor. Alright, well I cut all the carrots, so that's a plus. Getting there, slowly but yet surely. And then on top of this all, I'm probably gonna do this one tomorrow just because it's probably easier to do it then because I got a lot of bread and contaminant right now, but I also have to make a what is it? I also have to make what is it? I have to make a gluten-free, so already a bad start, gluten-free mac and cheese. So, first of all, oh geez, I have to make something gluten-free. Second of all, well, I'm working with a lot of gluten. It's funny, because like, oh, on one hand, it's like, I definitely forgot what I was talking about. Boy howdy, I was definitely thinking of something. I don't know. Okay. Hi, Mahler. Hi. So, on top of me just talking about all this and that, I actually have done a small little stuff at my job, i.e. just getting some herbs cut. Because I actually cut a lot of herbs today, and it's like, you know what? I could probably use some for my stuffing. Because herbs are just a lovely, lovely thing to freshen up food. I got this rosemary from the store, but this is like sage, this is thyme, parsley. But having all this stuff is really nice, but having a little bit of rosemary just kind of brings it back together to making you remember that it is fall time. That and also I've been wanting to use rosemary more. I think rosemary is a completely underutilized herb. Usually a lot of people tend and gravitate towards using, whatchamacallit, thyme, which I don't blame, because thyme is extremely nutritious, well, maybe nutritious, but definitely delicious herb. It works with everything. Rosemary can work with everything as well, but I feel like it's a little bit more situational. So, anyways, right, now I got some celery, and let me see. So I am trying to also mitigate waste because I don't really have much to work with. Everything in my refrigerator, there's not up there. There is a monopoly for space. For someone that cooks a lot, such as myself, there's always a grieving monopoly of space. Never have enough space, always needing more. Okay. Today is Tuesday, right? I keep forgetting. I would ask Siri, but I don't really feel like asking right now. I feel like she mocks me. Like she definitely knows a lot more than me, but that's exactly the reason. She's like a properly quote-unquote made AI. Or intelligent assistant, I don't know what the hell. And I'm just I'm kind of a failed one, if you knows. I think I've basically talked about my lore plenty at this point. Honestly, I don't think I've really talked about my lore that often. Perhaps I should talk about my lore more often, no? Who's to say? Here, I'm actually going to move this just a little bit this way so you can actually see the full board and what I'm cutting here. Kind of fun to see the entire process, no? I don't know. But, I posted a short the other day, so that's cool. I'm not sure if this is anyone that is... I'm not sure if anyone's insightful enough, or if anyone has noticed, but I've been trying to post a bit more stuff on the YouTube recently. More or less just trying to push shorts out more. I don't know, I've been having a fun little nick at making a lot of shorts and whatnot, so hopefully that will be nice and stuff for you guys to look and watch. Yes, lads, you're getting more content, would you believe it? But yeah, I thought, like, instead of, because usually on my days off I don't really stream. Very rarely will I actually push myself to do that, because I need some R&R days, you know? As everyone else should, you know? R&R days, I don't believe people have enough of those. Or have a sufficient amount that should be not satisfying. Not just satisfying, but also, you know, having your brain just to rest for a bit. I don't know. Right. Resting the bean, your little bean. It is very, very important to let your bean rest. But anyways, there is a lot of things that is nice that I got to use today, because I actually even have more herbs right here. But not just herbs, it's garlic as well. So I get to use some garlic butter. That's gonna be nice, just not just nice flavor, but like hell yeah, I get to use my butter that I've been holding on. And I actually need to start emptying my dishwasher. Here I am, I'm about to throw 20 things in here, but then forgot that there are already 20 things in here. Luckily, everything is already cleaned. So I just gotta take everything out and put new stuff in. Put more stuff in. Where? Okay, there. I was also wondering where this one thing, because I was thinking like, oh yeah, I gotta make this today, but I don't think I know where I put this today, and lo and behold, it was right where it should have been, kinda. Alright. The one of many. Okay. So I got my celery cut, my carrots cut. Now the most fun thing to cut, because I believe it is the thing to cut, onion. I am also trying to make sure I throw all of my scraps into the stock pot here, because I am also, on top of everything here, I do have an extra turkey. My job gives away a nice big old turkey. Pretty big old thing. But, my parents already have a turkey, but I still want a whole turkey because I can still utilize it for my own things, and also just make things, you know, make stuff for my family and whatnot. So one of those things I like to do with this turkey is, not only do I like to, first of all, get one. But I also am going to make a nice turkey stock with it, Because I'm gonna fabricate it. I'm gonna break it down. And when I break it down, there we go. As I break it down, I am going to put the bones in there. I'm also going to put in the drumsticks, the thighs, and etc. Because when I make a stuffing, I make it really meaty. I add a nice little fun, I add like a lot of fun bits inside as well. Would have loved to add some mushroom in it, but I had completely forgotten to go buy mushrooms, so that is unfortunately a part on my front that I'm just gonna have to deal with. It is what it is. But yeah, I'm kind of having a issue of space. I don't have enough bowls, so I kind of have to make a do with what I got. So that's why I'm actually starting to cook this now. Because why worry about putting everything somewhere when I can just put it into said pot for cooking? But it is quite funny because I definitely need a, well, to say simply, a bigger pot. Did you see how much bread I have to cook? It's definitely, it is literally like, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, either 4 to 5 loaves of sourdough bread. So yeah, there's a lot that I need to get done there. Very least though, the first thing to do is that I'm actually going to cook down all these vegetables, and then when I cook them all down, I'm going to have them actually put to the side, because then I can actually wait on actually adding that to the stuffing, because then in essence I can actually make this stuffing in stages. What I mean by this is that I can then, you know, take this stuff out, then I can put the bread in and then try and cook that down and get it all soggy and wet with the turkey stock, which I have not made yet. But at the very least, this is like a accelerated way to do something, because there are still other steps I have to take to make this said thing and this and that and etc. blah. Stupid tech stuff that I don't think anyone here. Actually, come to think of it, what are you lot even doing here? I don't know why I'm even asking that, because I know that some of you lot definitely did come from Nima. He's cool. Love her. Little bean. Maybe I should read. Funny thing is, I don't actually know why I'm cutting an onion like this. Although this is like, you know, your average way to cut an onion and dice. It's not actually the best thing to do for this sort of thing. Just because when I cut an onion, I am technically wasting a whole lot. Because, you see, I'm cutting this onion right now, but then I have this whole lot right here, and I kind of throw that away. Well, not throw it away, but I'm putting it not in the mirepoix to this pot that is cooking. But I guess I'm kind of just thinking out loud in a stupid sense here, because of course the onion that I'm using is being thrown into the pot that is going to be making stock. So it does have a use. I'm just stupid and talking out loud, letting every single thought coming out of my brain into the world, because I guess that needs to be said. It's nice to have a plastic bowl scraper here because I can actually just kind of cook this all down. Nice little bits of garlic, onion, celery, carrot, everything. Bits of herbage. And then after that few bit of herbage, I'm gonna add a lot more herbage, like almost a cup worth of mixed herbs. Not yet, actually. I should wait. I should be patient. So how are you guys doing today, as I am kind of, in my head, sort of scrambling? Not scrambling in a uncomposed, I'm gonna not be able to get this stuff done in time, etc. sort of manner, but more of a like, goddamn, I am stupid, I should have done this a little. I need to start hustling a bit more. But even at that, I'm not actually really hustling. I'm kind of just like, at my own leisure. Ooh, just going with the flow, blah 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 blah, and stuff like that. You know what? I got a whole bunch of these. I'm gonna throw those in there as well. On feed garlic with some garlic oil. Little bit more. Who doesn't love more garlic? Garlic is such a wonderful thing. It'd be sad to deny its use. Yeah. Throw some little bits of garlic in there just for little funsies. Alright. And that should be good. Yeah, right now there's not much else to do. I'm just trying to cook this down. But of course, I'm actually forgetting something very important, because along with cooking all this down, I gotta do the other big component to this whole dish. And that is to actually break down a whole turkey. I believe I've talked about this extensively already, but I have broken down a whole turkey before, and I believe I've done it on stream too. Just that the way I'm doing it, I don't know if it's gonna be done nicely, because unfortunately, a lot of this turkey, I'm not sure if it's even thawed out, which is a big worry. But it is the unfortunate cause that I have to now deal with. It is just is what it is. I thought it's behind. Oh yeah, I also want to make bread today. You see, there's a lot of things I still gotta do, and I'm kind of panicked. But panicked in a composed way, if that makes sense, because I'm not that big of a worrier. I used to be really bad. I used to worry about so many things. But once more, antidepressants, one of the best things in this world. My god. Take your goddamn meds. Best thing you could ever do. One of the best thing that I've ever done, I'll say that much. Hi, beautiful music and voice. Thank you? I'm concerned. I'm not concerned. I am confuzzled by this compliment. I'm not sure how I should... I don't know how I should take this compliment. Well, all that aside, Actually, you know, come to think of it, I actually don't know. How loud is the music, lads? Is it too loud? Is it too quiet? I didn't really ask about this in the start of stream just because I need to get all this stuff done, I guess. Just take it and run with it? I guess. Music is all good. Good, good, good. Alright. Here, I'm gonna move this right here because I get to do a fun thing that I don't think many people have this skill set for. I don't think skill set's really the right word to say. It sounds quite mean when I say, yo, you guys don't have, no, not everyone has this proper skill set. It's more or less that people don't have the patience to do this, and it's completely justified because doing this thing does take a little bit of time. But I'm now gonna break down a turkey within 10 minutes, maybe even less. So, yeah. Someone can set a timer if you want to see how long it takes me to break down a whole turkey here. But actually, just because I know my dumbass a little bit too well, I'm gonna move things to a different burner, move this right here, and actually, I should actually start filling this bad boy with water. Alright, so we're multitasking. I'm cooking, I moved something to a different pot. I am checking out my turkey. I'm filling up the pot of water. And, yeah. Okay, wow, there's a turkey neck. I hope there's gizzards. Is there gizzards? There's no gizzards. Ah. Gizzards are so nice. They add so much flavor, and they add collagen, which adds more flavor. Anyways, scrambles. Scrambling like a goddamn omelet right now. Alright, I'm actually gonna do something smart here, because this is gonna help make sure that this cutting is gonna be cutting clean. But I'm gonna put my board on top of the sheet tray because it completely fits for the neck. Nice. This should be plenty of water for now. That should be good enough. Alright, so I have completely did this turkey. Okay, sorry, I don't know why I needed to say that. Intrusive thoughts. I'm gonna take out its tail though, because that's just good flavor. I'm gonna put that in. Going to now remove the breast and the thigh together, well, apart, and those little bits of, oh wait! Found the gizzards. The heart, the liver, all that stuff. Some might be scared to put that in something like this, but that's just flavor. Anyways, opening this bad boy up, and there's a bit of juice in there, so I'm just gonna throw it in there. Alright, now, I'm gonna move this over. I'm going to flip it, and I'm gonna do something kind of satisfying and kind of eerie. Gotta crack the bone out of the socket. Alright, that's one. Okay, that's two. Next, feel where that bone is. Right here. And stab. So wiggle my boning knife. There we go. And there we go. I throw this actually into the water. I'm gonna actually put this into the stock. Which I know that might be kind of weird, because that's a perfectly good piece of meat. Like, oh, why do I want to waste the dark meat and throw it into the stock? I'm actually going to... It does a few things for me. First and foremost, it's going to cook that turkey into the stock, adding more flavor. Second of all, I'm going to then actually take the drum out and then shred it. And then when I shred it, I'm going to put that into the stuffing I'm making. I'm also gotta make sure I put the backbone in here. A lot of flavor I need to put. What kind of chicken are you making, Salty? I am not making a chicken. I am making I'm cutting a turkey right now. And I'm doing it like Doom Guy and ripping and tearing till it is done. Alright. The wing in the pot it goes. Because the wing is not really something you bother eating. Which is quite a surprise, really, if you really think about it, because it's a big old piece of meat. But we tend to not use it. And then I'm left with this, the breast here. So, cutting down through the middle. And I'm just gonna glide my knife here against the rib bone. Something, I don't remember the hell the name is. And yeah, I'm gonna glide my knife here. And try to remove the breast from the bone. Behold. Gotta move this from here. Cut this little piece of skin that is still attached to the bone here. And there we go. The breast in all its glory. But I also don't need this drumlet here, so I'm gonna break this apart here. And throw this on top. And there we go, that's one breast that I'm gonna keep and probably freeze actually. Truly, this is Thanksgiving season. It truly is. And yeah, now I gotta do the other side. Trail the knife right at the wishbone and scrape it on the side. I don't know how long this took, but there we go. I pretty much just deboned and broke down an entire turkey. And although I will admit it is kind of sloppily done, but I'm not doing it, I'm kind of actually just doing it on purpose, because the whole lot of the body of the turkey is actually going into the stock pot, so that I can make the turkey stock. Because guess where this is going? Into the stock pot. Oh, and also the tenderloin, because the tenderloin of the turkey tends to have this little piece of string inside. I don't know what it's properly called, but I don't really like it. And that when you roast it off, it's always weird. It's just never fun, never good. So I have these two big old turkey breasts here that I can now roast and cook whenever. So that's great, that's nice. Now I got this big old turkey backbone here that I'm gonna throw into my stock. I am gonna just really quickly try to break it a bit. What's the turkey end game this time around? I'm just trying to make stock. So I actually probably put too much water in here. But as this reduces down more and more, I'm going to be adding more of the bones and whatnot in there. It's just that I'm also trying to break this down solely because I want it all to fit into the pot. So that's why I am trying to rip and tear this apart. A part of me is quite curious that this isn't like, I guess age restrictable. Because I am quite literally ripping apart bones, tissue, and muscle. Alright, and also I want you all to remember this, just because if you guys make me upset, this is what happens. Rip you apart. I wouldn't do that, but threatening. Alright, well, the pot's already kind of full. I can't put no more in there. Anyways, there's the rib cage, tenderloins, drumlet, backbone, and the breasts. Ta-da! All done. Actually, in my other pot, you can't really see it. I'm just gonna now start throwing in my herbs. Pot where it has all the carrot, celery, onion. I just threw in a whole thing of thyme, sage, rosemary, parsley. And then this, along with what this is gonna turn into, is gonna turn into a bomb of explosions, of flavor and just yum. And actually, during that time of cooking and breaking down the entire thing, I pretty much completed making my mirepoix. Cooking it all down, has nice bits of herbs and this and that. But it's pretty much done. For that, I just gotta put it into another container separately. And yeah, that's that. If anything, I can actually be smart about it. And actually take this, put it in here, try and get as much of this stuff as I can out of my pot. Every little bit matters. But actually, you see this pot, I don't feel like I want to take everything out. So what I can do, move one pot to a back area, turn that on, and now I can actually throw these bones in here. And then for this thing right here, this pot right here, this can be a lot of broth. This pot I can fill with water and make even more broth, while this one on the back here can be used to make some more, I guess more broth. Not wording at the moment. But yeah, I'm just gonna throw a lot of other things into the pot as well. Fortunately, my pots are kind of small, but as the wise person would say, not the size is what is how you use it. Someone said that. You definitely know a lot more about that stuff than me. So, hey. Yeah, here we go. And now I can fill this pot with some water as well. And yeah, there we go. Pot. Another pot. 2 pots full of water to make turkey stock. There you go. Just like that. It's all done. So now I can actually visualize a bit better what I got here. I'm actually gonna toss some of this into my thing of mirepoix here, just because it saves space in my refrigerator. But this is some of that smoked turkey thigh that's gonna add nice smokiness and also just nice meat, good meat, a good amount of chunk of meat there as well. So yeah, that's gonna go into my stuffing. And also just because I could, I'm just gonna throw. I cleaned out this little thing that where the the turkey was. Cleaned it out, threw it in there, whatever little bits, because that helps add flavor, flavor. Okay, well that's all I can really do right now. So now I'm in the stage of, I wouldn't say purgatory, but waiting purgatory, if that makes sense, because this is now all but a waiting game. I definitely feel good about myself now because I just got the 2 of the biggest things done. Cutting all the vegetables and getting the turkey stock started. Unfortunately, this is going to take a few hours, so I might not even be able to finish today, which is fine. It's fine, but it's not fine. It's just how it is, so I'm not really too upset, but like, it's still kind of sad and annoying and all that stuff I can just continue to complain about, but if you know anything, complaining doesn't get you anywhere. Okay. How about we make some bread now, yeah? Just cause, of course, when I'm done, after a hard bit of work, the next thing I want to do is more work. Because I like work. Work is good, makes the brain happy. Stimulation for the brain keeps me going. Gotta clean everything now, bro. If there's something now I'm kind of just thinking now that I'm gonna kind of regret, is that my entire kitchen, my entire apartment actually, is just going to smell like, well, turkey broth. It's gonna smell like soup the entire night now. Which doesn't sound bad on paper, but it's really hard when you try and go to sleep and it's like, oh, I just smell food. I'm hungry. Okay. Well, I have a whole bunch of this turkey meat now, so best thing to do for it is to actually just freeze it. Yeah, I can't really eat it all in one sitting, and that also eating a whole lot of turkey later this week. Is did you know it's almost Thanksgiving? There's a lot of stuff that I kind of want to talk about today as well, but I'm trying to avoid talking about the things I talked about, was it Sunday, I think? When did I stream last? I can't remember. Because it's Tuesday, I didn't stream yesterday, but I think I streamed Sunday, correct? kind of a hard thing for me because, what is it? I do enjoy myself a bit of yappage, a bit of talkage, but a huge problem that comes when I want to talk about a lot of things is that I tend to do my most annoying pet peeve, something that I actually really dislike, because I know I'm stupid, is talking about the same thing again. I'm not sure why, but it's a huge pet peeve for me, to where it's like, I hate talking about the same thing over and over and over again. I personally think it's really annoying. I'm not sure if that's just a me thing, or if that's actually just a general thing, but I don't really like repeating the same thing over and over and over again. I don't know why I continued talking like I was gonna finish that sentence. That was the end of the sentence. Roll credits. That's all I gotta say, folks. Okay, that might be very strange for what I just did, but just don't question it. I know. For those that probably just questioned, what the fuck did I just put into the pot? It was 2 slices of cheese. I understand, it sounds very strange, like why would I put 2 slices of cheese into the pot like that? And honestly, I don't have an answer for you. Although I am lying, I do have an answer. It is actually a small practice in some places. There is a small thing you can do to where you get like cheese rinds and whatnot when you get a really dry piece of cheese, and you can throw that in your stock and whatnot, and it adds like a nice cheesy, rich, aged flavor and all that whatnot. But that's not really like an aged cheese or Parmigiano Reggiano or anything special like that. That's just 2 dried ass pieces of Munster cheese. So take that for what you will. Either way around it, it's now time to pack it all up. You know, actually just thinking about this, because I think it's a fun thought experiment. How many of you lot actually like touching like raw meat and whatnot? I know there is some people that really have this like almost small itty bitty fear of like touching raw meat and whatnot, thinking it's like nasty and disgusting and all that. But since I cook very much, and I'm very close to raw meat and all the sorts at my job, it doesn't really affect me anymore, which is kind of funny because I used to be a bit of a, I guess, a germphobe. But I guess, you know, overexposure over time just kind of makes it, yeah, this isn't really that big of a deal that people make it out to be, or it is what it is. But it's nice, I got 2 pieces of turkey breast now, so I can do a lot with this. 2 whole turkey breasts? That's a lot of food. That's like almost a week's worth of food in my head. And then also, I could probably turn these into streams, honestly. I can show you how to like brine a turkey, and then we can make sandwiches the next day or something like that. Like, there's a lot of fun stuff you can do with turkey. And then like, oh, do you ever wonder how like, what is it? How some, like the grocery stores and whatnot, they make, what is it? They make their lunch meat and all that whatnot, and how it looks different than like, I guess, sliced turkey meat. The main difference is that one's brined, one's not, you know? The whole lot of turkey that you get from the grocery store, more often than not, are brined. That's why they aren't dry and unbearable and disgusting, like when your parents cook a turkey and it's overcooked to hell, and next thing you know, it's like, man, this is not any different from eating sandpaper. Either way around it, got some turkey breast here, and this will be able to be put towards good use. And also, turkey breast is good old protein. Protein. Into the frozen box it goes. Alright. Yeah, I'm just gonna be pretty much cleaning up now. Gotta do my little stuff here, gotta clean up. Lots of mess. You know, it actually is quite funny when I think about it, because I remember when I was really into cooking and started to try and learn how to cook on my own. One of the things I hated to do the most, honestly, was to actually clean my dishes. As I imagine it would be for a whole lot of you. I just really don't like cleaning. I used to really hate cleaning. And it really wasn't a fun activity for me to do because I was also just excruciatingly lazy. But then once you start doing it more and more, because, well, there's no one else that's gonna do my dishes when I live alone. Other than my dishwasher, but even at that, my dishwasher does have its limits. I don't know, it's just kind of relaxing. In a weird way, I suppose. There isn't really much else to think about. It's just like, yeah, you're just cleaning. Clean up time. Which is quite funny, because every single time I actually think about doing dishes now, I think very fondly of one particular individual to where she is really bad at, quote, dish maxing. She's terrible at doing dishes, which I find to be hilarious for some reason. If you don't know who I am talking about, hold on. If you don't know who I'm talking about one individual in particular. I actually was able to meet her. I actually even went to her place of residence, and I shit you not, I was so I will say it. I was so mentally disturbed about how bad their sink was that I asked them, hey, can I do your dishes? They're atrociously bad. I need to do them for you. And it's quite funny because, I guess I did dishes in a way that she never thought about doing dishes. And, correct me if I'm wrong here, lads, or like put your lads' input as well, because I thought this is how people did dishes and whatnot. But usually when I do dishes, I have my soapy water. I have my soap, and then I have my scrub. But as I'm scrubbing and doing this and that, I'm also having the water continuously run, so that I can rinse whatever I'm trying to rinse under said water. And then once I'm done rinsing, I just turn the water off. I don't know. Is that normal? How do you do dishes? Really funny question to ask now that I'm like 23 and living alone. But it's kind of funny when I have to really think about how do normal people do dishes? How do you properly do dishes? Am I crazy or is my friend crazy? Speaking of which, my friend I'm referring to is Miss Minna Vanilla herself. She's bad at doing dishes, apparently. Now, to be fair, she has all the reason to be bad at dishes, because she's not just bread naxing, she's also kid naxing, so she has other issues to worry about other than silly dishes to do. Which honestly, I gotta say, I'm surprised that she's not letting her kids do it, but I digress. That is not my thing to judge, but I will say, I'm surprised they don't do chores. Perhaps Minna is just too nice, I don't know. I put a little soap on water on the dish and scrub it with a brush. But the thing is, I guess, is that for Minna, I guess it was such a foreign idea to keep the water constantly on. So as you're scrubbing, you can scrub whatever you're doing under the water. So it's like you scrub, run under the water, scrub, under the water, scrub, rinse one more time, and then you're done, and dry it off. Am I crazy? I don't know. I keep the water off until rinsing time. I guess that's the thing about me, since I just dish max really nicely. The water is always running. As the water is continuing to run, then I just kind of scrub, and then rinse, and then dry. Scrub, rinse, then dry. Scrub, rinse, and dry. You know, that's just kind of the methodology I came up with, because the fastest and easiest way to, well, do the thing. Doesn't it rinse the soap off? Well, okay, I don't know how, okay, so, I'm gonna try to explain this. So usually what I do, you know, this is all soapy and all that, so I have the water running, scrub, and as I'm scrubbing it, rinse it under the water once. There's still a bit of soap still. I scrub it one more time to make sure it's all nice and clean, rinse it again, and then shake it dry and then let it dry. I don't know. Dishwashing extreme. Do you guys want this? Is that the content we're all screaming for? Is that the thing that you whole lot want to see? Is that just the thing that I have been doing wrong this entire time of my entire career as a baker, to where it's like, you guys aren't interested in cooking, you guys aren't interested in baking, but you are, however, interested in dishwashing. Dish-maxing, if you will. Do you have a very soapy sponge or something? It was a joke. I hate dishwashing. I hate washing dishes. I like washing dishes, so that's where I guess where you and I differentiate. Oh, but for soap, I just use Dawn soap. You know, the soap that used for like oiled up duckies. That's the soap I use. Yeah, once I gotta just throw it out there again. This is a lot of stuff. really looking at it right now, but like, holy shit, if I really look about all of the stuff I'm doing right now, holy hell. 2 whole pots worth of stock. That's a lot. Yeah, that's really all there's to doing. But if anything, there is something that we can actually do now. And it is bread maxing, because everything is everything is maxing. So as I have so lovingly continued to talk, how much turkey is in there? I think I got like my job gives out like 15-pound turkeys, and pretty much everything in there, but the breasts, the 2 breasts are in there, like the quarters, the drumstick, the thighs. They're all in the stock pot right now. So I'm probably guessing there's at least maybe 10 pounds worth of bones in the pot right now. So it's a lot of stock, which is nice because if I make too much stock, that's a good problem to have, because then with all that stock, I can make gravy. So, and I know my parents, they don't really make gravy. They get the powdered shit, and I get really, really disappointed in them, because it's like, Mom, Dad, I can make you gravy. Just, all you have to do is ask. So yeah. Huh, is boiling the thighs not a waste? You see, that's the thing though. That's exactly what I want to do. I want to boil the thighs, because as you boil them low and slow over a long period of time, they start to be able to shred. And once they are shreddable, then I actually take that turkey, I shred it up, and then I actually throw it into my stuffing. Because then there's more flavor from... Because then I'm essentially poaching the turkey thigh, and I'm reintroducing the turkey thigh meat back into the stuffing. So then it's just more flavor. Got the flavor from the turkey thigh in the broth, and then you got the turkey meat itself that you shred up and put into your bread, into the stuffing. So it is literally me trying to min-max flavor and just all the ingredients. Smartly trying to use all the ingredients, using everything to the best ability that I can. That is what makes a good cook from a okay cook. So, I never thought not enough turkey flavor would be a problem with stuffing. I don't know. Usually, well, the thing is that usually people, when they make stuffing, they use chicken stock. But since I have this very unique opportunity to where I can just get a free 15-pound turkey, I have a little bit more opportunity to have a little bit more fun and make this turkey, make this not gravy, make this stuffing a little bit more unique, adding a bit more oomph, a little bit more flavor, and everything else that I could say to make things just sound good, and I guess making myself sound professional in some manner. Even though, okay, never mind, I was gonna say, even though that I'm not professional, but with all due respect and all technicalities, what I do is very much technically professional, because professional implies that I do this for a living. And would you believe it, from the many times I talk about my job, I do work in a kitchen. So I do this professionally. So technically, I am a professional. Take that for what you will. Anyways, let's make some bread. So, our lovely, wait, hold on, wait. This isn't Gatorade, don't think of that. This is... Hold on. This is, hold on. Legally distinct blue sports drink. Cyan sports drink. So yes. Stock for Cyan bread. Hell no. No. We're already making bread made out of Gatorade. I think I'm gonna stop the line at using stock. Which actually on paper doesn't sound horrible. Making like chicken bread is a little strange, but definitely does sound good. Possibly someone else. Another stream perhaps. Maybe if I do like a cooking stream and I make a bread based off like a chicken. Maybe I can do chicken bread. That'd be fun. By stock, I mean the Gatorade. What Gatorade? I don't have Gatorade. What do you mean? This, I only have this legally distinct bottle of sports drink that is blue. Blue sports drink. Alright. But all of that nonsense aside, I but I want to experiment with Cyan bread one more time. I also need to write down the recipe. Give me a moment. So, this recipe is actually quite different because, and I'm also gonna do something a little bit more. I'm gonna do something a little weird here. Not weird, but I'm also gonna I'm gonna cut this recipe in half because I don't feel like. I must say, there are two sides of me right now. One is telling me to be completely lazy and do half the thing. The other thing is telling me just to do the full recipe. And I can't help but listen to the other person that is telling me to do the full goddamn recipe. So, the thing I mentioned about this bread that makes it a little bit more fun, and I want to make it more fun, is that not only is it just a Gatorade bread, but I also felt like it'd be really cool to make it into a caramelized pineapple pansobao. So that's why I actually have this pineapple right here. So, got my pan. Turn this bad. Well, actually, wait. Before I do that, I gotta measure out the pineapple at least, because I gotta cook this pineapple. That's how you caramelize a pineapple. Lo and behold, would you believe it? But I also am quite curious to cook pineapple just for the sole reason of it's very much well known that it can break down protein very easily. So yeah, I'm interested to see how that works. Anyways, I'm gonna do 100 grams. 100 g of pineapple. And essentially, I'm just gonna cook this down. Gonna cook it down until it's nice and caramely and rich and all that fun stuff. And yeah, not much to it. So it is kind of interesting because the idea of cooking down a pineapple is kind of funny, because I like to think that pineapple is, well, a lot like cooking down an apple. As you cook it down more and more, it becomes more like a paste, not like a paste, but that's the word I'm gonna go for. It becomes more like a paste. And the more, I guess, the more soft and pasty it gets, well, it's gonna deepen in flavor, caramelize, and it's also probably gonna turn into like almost like a puree, like a mush, if you will. And that's the idea. I want to cook this down until it's like a very fine mush, a mashy mash of just pure cooked down, sweetened, and caramelized pineapple. Doesn't it count as a compote if it's only one fruit? So, to tell you the honest truth, I do not know. Because compote is one of those things that's really weird for me to identify, because I'm not sure what truly makes a compote. Because at my job, we make all types of compotes actually. We make tomato compote, we make apple compote, a whole bunch of compotes that we really do make. But we use other things where it's like we use onions, garlic for like the tomato compote. For the apple compote, we use apples, apple pie. I mean apple cider, because cider is better than using apple juice. If anything, it's not really a compote. I'm slowly cooking down a bunch of pineapple to make it into a nice puree. So, if anything, it's going to be a puree more or less. If I were to say anything. So not really poached con, but poached con? I don't know what a poached con is. Essentially, the idea is just I'm gonna cook the hell out of these pineapples, like how you would like when you cook applesauce, for instance. That's more or less the idea here. Anyways, same song and dance from yesterday, because I am now going to be measuring out all the dry ingredients. The dry ingredients are measured, the proportions of the dried ingredients are a touch different. For instance, there's a lot more sugar. So there's that. But still, the same general process stays the same. To where it is just done in the most laziest, nonchalant manner ever. To make it as not just simple to do, but also the least effort to do as well. Since the whole idea when I was making this recipe, and just because I think it should be on brand for Diana, since she is a gamer girl, she probably doesn't want to do that much. If you're a NEET and a gamer, your ass not wanting to do that much. You want to be on your ass, you want to play video games all day, and that's it. If I could, I'd do the same. I would love to be a goddamn NEET. But I also like doing stuff, so there's that thing that makes it kind of a troublesome ordeal. Anyways, as you can see here, as I do cook down the pineapple, starting to get a bit of color. So they are starting to, guess what? Caramelize. Pineapple sauce. I guess in a way, yeah, this is just, I am just making pineapple sauce. So yeah, if you really want to make it, if you really want to be, not cynical, but exact, I am just making a pineapple sauce. Alright. Yeast, salt, flour. Now I just gotta add Gatorade oil and compo. Alright. In goes the legally distinct cyan colored drink. Sports drink of sorts. $240 grams of that. It's 243, but you get the idea. Actually, you know what would be really fucked up? It also kind of would help the caramelization here. Because usually when you caramelize things, you want to cook things slow and all that. Something fucked up to do when you can caramelize onions and whatnot. Usually you add a little water, you know? You add some water into the thing, so it helps cook down and caramelize it even more. How fucked up would it be is that not only are we baking, but we're also cooking with Gatorade? How fucked up would that be? That'd be kind of funny. I'm not gonna do it because that sounds a little bit too it sounds a little bit too much heresy, alright? That's too much. We're already doing a lot of heresy that we're baking with, you know, Gatorade. So, Carmenade? Yeah, no, there's too much heresy already going on. I can't go beyond what's already been done. I am still going to just add a splash of water because there's a whole bunch of little, not burnt, but caramelized sugar on the bottom that's going to help add color and make it cook down a little bit better. Look at that, it's so much darker now. The other ingredients need to be equally as synthetic. I guess that is something that needs. I guess that is something that could and needs to be done at this point, huh? But I don't really feel like getting any more things that need to go through a more synthesis than they already have. Yeah. Okay, I think this pan of of pineapple is already fairly done. But just to show you, if I were to add water to this, keep in mind of this color right here. Now watch as I let all of that evaporate now, since I put the little bit of water inside. All of that flavor all of that little bits of burnt sugar on the bottom from the natural sugars from the pineapple. This is unfortunately the most effort you would have to do when making this bread. But also, the funny thing is that you don't even really need to. The caramelized pineapple I'm adding just purely for flair points and aesthetic reasons. Not a necessary part, but I'm still doing it because I think it was very nice and more respectful to Diana with her theme that I'm going for and all. It does have its flair points. You see, the thing about cooking and eating good food, the best thing to do is to make it look and sound really pretty. The more intricate it sounds, the more like brownie points you can give yourself, you know? Like, oh yes, the thing with all this and that and this and that and that and this. It sounds so fancy, and then when you eat it, you feel like, oh, this is wonderful. Oh, it compliments the chef and all that stuff, you know? Because if you want to have food and have a great time eating it, a part of that experience about eating food is, well, experience. So yes. Okay, I'm also gonna do a bit of cheating here. Because you know how you can caramelize food even beyond, even further beyond than what the natural order has? By adding sugar. By adding more sugar, because of course not. So I'm gonna add that sugar in the pot here, and that's just gonna make more and help actually break this down even more, because for some reason sugar helps. Sugar also is a lot like salt in the sense that it brings out water. And now, technically speaking, with what I have right here in the pan, this is technically now a pineapple compote. There we go. Lovely stuff. Pineapple compote. And the beauty of this, because, oh, I don't want to add this into the pan, I don't want to add this to my bread because it's way too hot. If I just kind of scrape everything into this here, the Gatorade that now has turned brown. Ignore that. The Gatorade is the sports drink is at a different color. I mean, at a different temperature. So now that it's cooling down, now that actually cools down that, and I can add that to my, where is it? Add that to the bread without it actually, one, hurting my hands, and two, killing off the yeast. Win-win on both fronts. Okie doke. Yellow ingredients are a big challenge for cyan bread. Guess you're true on that front. But you know now what I need to really think about doing? Is because when we raided into Cyana the other day, I actually did mention, she actually did mention, and I'm actually kind of surprised about this insight here because I didn't know about this. Apparently, one of the VTubers that I'm making said bread of, there's a VTuber that I'm making. Her name is Nyana Banana. But to my knowledge, I thought she graduated, so I was kind of less inclined to make her into bread. She's, you know, MIA, if you will. Missing in action, killed in action even. So I thought she was kind of done, but despite that, I was never not gonna do her bread. It's just more or less, her bread was gonna be put on the back burner, for if you will, on like other ideas I wanted to pursue. But I found out from talking to Cyanna and her just yapping, apparently she is around still. Banana. So, her still around, but she's kind of more of a lurking creature. What is it? Her being a lurking creature, I'm kind of a bit more inclined to do her now. So there's that. Yellow, would it be fair to add dye separately? Okay, so there is good reason and merit to why I don't want to ever add dye to my breads. Because there is a distinction in my brain to where whenever I think about dyeing like bread or pastry, I instantly start thinking about cake. And I feel like that's also a very important distinction when it comes generally to really any sort of pastry, you know? When I think of, oh wow, you're making a bread, but you're dyeing it? Oh, it sounds a lot like cake. I want to make sure there is a very notable distinction of, hey, I'm making bread, not cake. So at least trying to go as, I know we're using Gatorade, so the thing I'm going to say is very counterintuitive in a way. To do this as naturally as possible, I understand. We're making a Gatorade bread, so that really shouldn't matter in the grand scheme of everything. But it's still the thought of the merit of adding some sort of food dye that I just want to avoid altogether. That and I should just like naturally do this. So. Right. First thing to make note of right now, it is notably a lot more wet than it was the other day. Whether that be a good thing or a bad thing, I'm not too terribly sure, but we will find out when I need to. Hell, when I even do shape it, I can probably even add flour and all of that, so that's gonna be fine. So it being sticky right now is really okay. But yeah, I'm gonna see, because tomorrow I want to try and make more bread. I've been in this mood to make more bread and etc. Been more motivated. While doing these cooking streams and all that, I've just been kind of feeling more inclined to do more of my, I guess, creative thinking. And I really want to make that banana bread I've been having in mind. But the thing about this banana bread is that I don't want to make it how you're probably thinking about banana bread, to where you use baking soda and all that stuff. No, I want to make bread. Like risen bread from yeast, not baking soda. I want to make like actual bread and use banana. And I think it's possible, but it's going to be kind of interesting because I feel like it's almost going to be like making a potato bread. Now, if you lot that don't know, bananas are mildly so, but they are starchy. So I feel like there is some utility in that regard of what I can use it for. So there is plausibility. And what is it? There is plausibility to I can make a pretty good bread with it. So I'm probably actually going to use Nana's bread, which is going to be a banana a red raspberry swirl banana bread. I'm probably going to use the base of my potato bread, but then use, instead of using potato, obviously, I'm going to be using a banana puree. So that is the thought process that I'm having. The issue, not issue, but the thing that I'm trying to think of when it comes to all of that now is just ratios. How much banana do I want to use? How much sugar do I want to use? Do I even want to use sugar? Because the banana probably should have enough natural sugar that'll make it nice and sweet. Do I want to add oil? Do I want to add butter? Do I even need to add fat? There's a lot of stupid questions I have to consider, but I'll probably get by. Well, not probably, I will get by. Simply as that. Why wouldn't you use over-ripened bananas? You see, that's also a thing I gotta take into account, because that's also a funny thing I gotta think about as well. Do I want to use ripe bananas, or do I want to use, under-ripened bananas? Because the interesting thing about bananas, the more ripe they are, the more sweet they are, but that is because the starches in the banana are breaking down into sugar. But that's the thing. Unripened bananas have a higher percentage of starch. And then when you add more starch, that makes it more feasible for bread. So now I have to try and take into account, do I want to use ripe bananas, underripened bananas? You know, there's a lot of stupid stuff like this I have to autistically think about. If they're not ripe, you just eat them. I don't, you know, I gotta go out and say too, I'm not sure if this is a surprising thing to talk about or say, but I don't like bananas. Like, don't get me wrong, I can eat a banana, but I don't like the texture. Eating a banana just makes me kind of sad. It makes me a little sad and upset and like, oh man, I don't want to eat this. But yeah, I don't really like eating bananas. They just don't taste. In my opinion, my humble opinion, when it comes to all kinds of food, all that whatnot, I do not enjoy bananas. I do not like bananas. If you have a complaint about why bananas are the best fruit in the world and I'm wrong for it, please send it to my email address, where I will not worry or listen or read any of your sorts, and I will simply respond with you. Okay. Remember where you are. You're online. Opinions do not matter. Good ones, bad ones. Opinions are always invalidated, no matter who you are. I burned my thumb. Fudge. I was trying to push some bones down in some stock, and unfortunately a whole bunch of the oil, the oily bit, okay, well, it's fine. Not the worst burn I've had, if any burn at all, but what about plantains? You see, that's an idea as well. I could definitely use plantain. But the VTuber in question that I'm making for, their name is Nana Banana. So it would be kind of weird to make Nana Plantain, you know? Yes, it would make it better to use a platano or plantain, whatever the fuck. But it just doesn't, it's just not right. That makes sense, you know? Yeah, this is the stupid bone that doesn't want to go down. So I'm just kind of letting it sit above here. For Nana Banana, obviously you need bananas. But I meant, do you like plantains? Oh! I've actually never okay, no, I have had a plantain before, But I'll be honest and just say that it was, it was all right. It wasn't really mind blowing or boggling or anything like that. It was like, it was tasty. It was good, but it's like, fried. Yes, I had it fried. I didn't have it fresh. I had a fried platano. I don't know why. Whenever I say here plantain, I just want to say platano instead of plantain. But yeah, I've tried a fried plantain before. It is good, but I just, it's just, that's just the best thing I can say. It was just, It wasn't great, it wasn't bad, but it's just like, alright. Platano frito. But if you look at this, if you look at the color of this stock right now, hold on. I actually really want to take a second to look at this stock. It's actually pretty much almost there to being a complete turkey stock. You know? Really nice amber-ish color. It just does need a little bit more time, obviously. Now, whether or not I have enough time to finish it on today's stream is another question. But it is progress, and I honestly might not even have enough time to finish it. On stream, at least. Probably be able to finish it offline. But, yeah. Maybe I'll ask Q. He's good with Platano. Maybe I'm asking Platano. Platano is just fun. It's just a fun word to say, honestly. I have to just kind of stir the bones around. So that the bones are submerged so that they at least can extract. Now I'm wondering actually, because I just thought about this. What if I just did the most stupid thing? Just actually try and cut the bone. Because then that would actually hot. There we go. Scissors, one of the best things to use in the kitchen. Definitely one of my favorite things. One thing is like, oh yeah, it's so nice to use a knife and all this and that, but like, you couldn't really use a knife effectively the way that I just use those scissors. Yeah. Just waiting. This is the point of time to where people either hate this part of cooking or love this part of cooking. I'm kind of in between, honestly. To where we just kind of sit out and hang, because there is a whole bunch of simmering that needs to be done. That, and also, if anything, I can actually start getting my reps in, getting the folds in. Where did I put the... Where's... Oh, there it is. You could put the leg on the cutting board and cut it there, knifing it there. That is true. But then I make a mess on the cutting board because everything on the cutting board is now getting wet, and then I gotta clean the cutting board. So my counterpoint is I can be lazy and be dangerous and just cut it in the pot. Anyways, gotta get those reps in, doing the folds. It's quite funny because for those that may or may not know, when you like a lot of people, when it comes to like making bread and whatnot, the whole lot will think about, oh, making bread, sourdough, and doing folds and whatnot. But the funny thing about doing folds in sourdough, you don't have to just do that in sourdough. I'm actually sitting down right now because I don't feel like standing up anymore. But I'm actually doing folds with just this normal piece of bread as well. When you do folds and whatnot for normal bread, what is it? When you do all this whatnot and stuff for bread, I mean folds and whatnot for bread, it's not just, all these techniques are not bound to one kind of bread, you know? You can do it elsewhere. Go. I'm already done eating this away. I'm also just realizing that whoever cut this pineapple left a lot of the seeds. I just found 2. Yep. Go. This cyan bread needs more cyan. It really does, honestly. But unfortunately, the legally distinct drink that is of the cyan color, of possibly maybe flavor it's called Glacier Freeze, apparently the dye is not that strong. Which is a good thing to know, because that means you're not dyeing your insides that color as well. So, hey. It's not the worst thing in the world. If anything, it's good that it's not the strongest dye. It makes it feel a little bit less synthetic, so I'm fine with that, honestly. I'm not sure about you lot. Maybe puree blue and green ingredients? Well, that wouldn't really make a good cyan, though, I think. I don't really know how you make a natural cyan, because I believe cyan isn't really a natural color in nature. In fact, blue is not really that natural of a color, and when it is natural, it usually means it's poisonous. There's not normally a lot of natural things in nature that are blue and edible. Not many. Some flowers can be powdered and then dried out and then turned into a natural blue dye, but it's complicated. And then also you have to get a special flower, and then you gotta dry it out, and this and that, and blah, 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 blah. And then you're just kind of going a little bit too hard just to make your thing blue. It's weird that cyan is rare. It should be easier to make because required absorbing fewer frequencies. Well, I'm not sure the science about colors in nature, but I'm sure it has to do something with like chlorophyll. Because I imagine like making colors is not as simple as putting green and blue together, because you know you got other things to worry about like chlorophyll production and colored wavelengths and poison and all this other hubbubaloo that has to come when it comes to making bread and making color and whatnot. Blue means absorbing red and green. Cyan means absorbing red. I don't know much about this art stuff. I mean, this color stuff. Don't know much about these color things in nature, so once more, I'm just gonna take a backseat on this, because this is out of my territory. Speaking of, I was talking to one of my coworkers today, and him and I were just having a little bit of a chat. And he was talking about, oh, you know, the ocean's a lot more terrifying than space, which I agree to, but also I think that's what makes the ocean so much more fascinating than space for me. One thing, yeah, the space is large and vast. There's black holes, accretion disks, you know, quasars, pulsars, diamond-shaped planets, exoplanets, this and that, but like the space, we kind of know a lot about it, and it's like, unfortunately, a lot of the stuff is incomprehensible in reality, because like, first of all, they are mind-bogglingly far away, and if you got even within a light year within it, you might actually, no, not a light year, but like, if you got within proximity to where we are stationed in the sun, to where like a quasar is, first of all, you would die. Because that's a lot of heat and energy that has to be produced. You would die. You would evaporate most likely, or be sucked into the accretion disk, because a quasar is the light of a black hole, if I recall correctly. I think. But yeah, there's a lot of celestial phenomena that it's like, it's cool, but at the same time, it's so incomprehensible because we cannot. The numbers are too big. They're too far away, and we cannot physically enjoy it to its greatest glory, if you will. But the ocean, it's literally in our backyard in the grand scheme of the space. It is right there. You just jump in the water and go do your thing. It's quite amazing, let me tell you. But I love the ocean. Once more to talk about it is that I wanted to be a marine biologist when I was young, so I was really into fish, for one thing, and just basic fish stuff, I guess. But the deep sea is fascinating. The bloop is very, very fascinating. If you don't know what the bloop is, it went viral for a bit, I think. But it's essentially the loudest organic sound ever recorded. But the thing is that the size, first of all, it's completely theorized, very highly theorized, that it's an organic being that made this noise. But at the same time, the frequency and the power and etc. to make this sound, you would have to be a big organism. But the thing is that no one knows. I don't think anyone knows. I don't know, it's been a while since I really looked into it. No one knows what made this sound. And that's fascinating to me, because how do we not know this? How do we not know something that is literally in our celestial backyard? Not celestial backyard, but that is in our literal backyard in the grand scheme of like space and whatnot. There's also just a lot of things about we don't know everything about the ocean. Big thing. Big thing about the ocean, which I think is just wild, because we, on paper, know more about space than we do our oceans, because we don't know everything that's in our oceans. Like, I believe, like, the deep sea and the Antarctic circles and whatnot, we have not fully explored because it is so incomprehensibly dark down there, and we just do not have the technology for bright enough lights, which is kind of fascinating, because we can make rockets, we can make this, we can make that, but we can't make a strong enough light bulb for a very cold ocean. Isn't that kind of interesting to think about? Isn't that kind of, like, almost fascinating? Like, mind-boggling in some regard? I don't know. The ocean is cool. It's frightening, but that's what makes it cool, because we just don't know much about it. It's crazy, it's spooky, and it's awesome, because there's just so much down there that we just don't know. And the ocean has yummy fish in it. That is 100% a very, very strong point, too. There's a lot of yummy things in the ocean, too, which is hard to deny. Lots of yummy things in there. If there was a deep sea organism with the luminosity of 1,000,000 suns, we'd know more about them. Well, obviously, But also, that's kind of impossible. Because, well, to have that much energy output, you would probably, well, be hotter than our sun, obviously. You know. But still, the thing is that there's a lot of funny things when it comes to our sun. I'm not sun, where our oceans. Where I am myself personally very surprised that we have not looked into yet, you know? Alright. I'm gonna get a fork here. Because I want to test the thighs. Because if it's shreddable, that means it's ready to go, but lo and behold, it is not shredding. Well, actually, it's falling off the bone, but it's not shredding. And also, I'm not really going to use the drumlet, because when you actually shred up the drumlet, there's actually some little, like, bones, like feather bones, pin bones? Not really pin bones, but there's, like, bones inside of the drumlet. So, I want to use the thigh, more or less, for my stuffing. If there were deep sea... Oh, no, I already saw that. Okay. But yeah, just to throw it out there again, I say again because I always talk about it when I talk about the ocean. A little bit of me really does wish I was programmed to be like a fish VTuber. Well, not a VTuber, but a fish ocean related, instead of being like a computer generative AI. But an AI can dream. Maybe I can turn myself into a fish. Who knows? I don't know. That, and also is kind of funny because I'm also very much more or less gravitated towards ocean-esque VTubers. I don't know, the ocean's cool. I like the ocean. Badass. I'm not gonna lie, I'm also just low-key also getting mesmerized by just watching the pot boil. Maybe it's some sort of stupid thing in my little brain, but it's like... It's very therapeutic just to watch the bubbles come up and then like the water just bubbling up and getting to this top of the surface of the water and just watching it just all bubble and... No. Fun. It's nice to watch. I am very much a simpleton. Ocean, the original soup. Yeah, it pretty much is. It is the soup. It is the greatest primordial soup in our world. Quite literally, because there is no other world like this that we know of. Surprised you lads aren't getting bored of me at this point. I'm just talking about like the ocean, the space, soup, and we haven't really been doing much of anything else. That being said, I do appreciate you all spending your time with me, lending me your ear, talking about some ridiculous nonsense. I don't know. It definitely is a lot better than talking about like, I don't know, politics, cause yes, of course. Alright, anyways. I think airily this back pot that you cannot see is good enough. So I'm going to get a strainer, a bowl, and I'm gonna do something interesting because when it comes to you know, straining stuff, there are some things to where you can use a cheesecloth and that makes it catches the debris a lot better through this simple mesh strainer. Because it's not a fine mesh, it's just a Alright, here we go. But yeah, look at that. The broth is fairly clear. Fairly clear turkey broth. That is going to be very nice for our for the stroke. I'm having a stroke right now. Oh, ah. What is it? What am I making? What am I making, self? Stuffing. There we go. No idea, nor any reason to why that was so hard to say. Also, be right back. I'm gonna go toss this in the trash can. Definitely smells like Thanksgiving in here. Smells a lot like turkey. So now here's the funny thing about making this bread pudding. Not bread pudding. No, why do I want to call this bread pudding? This stuffing. Well, they are the same thing technically. Just okay. Anyways, making this thing. That there's really no easy way to make it, because I simply do not have a big enough container to do this all in. Which is kind of funny. I don't have a container that's big enough. I don't have the means to do this all effectively as I want to do. But I gotta find out how to do it some way. Because now I can actually... The thing is, I can actually... I grab this. And now... I can actually mix this and this together. And if you think about it, I just made soup. Turkey stuff with bread pudding sounds tricky. Well, the thing is, I kind of keep alluding to it because there is a bit of confusion. But making this stuffing, there is very little difference for this and making like a stuffing. Now I know for some stuffings, people will actually stuff the stuffing in the turkey, hence why it's called stuffing. But my parents don't really want to do that because they're worried about getting sick and all this and that. So instead, I just make the stuffing separately. But I still put a lot of love in it and a lot of flavor and all this and time and effort. Because they just like it. No ands, no ifs, no buts, no sort of explanation here. They just like it. So this is normally the way I normally do it. But now this is the tricky thing. Because how do I get this and put all of this in that container? And also have it, above all else, evenly distributed. Oh, that's why you're putting the turkey in the stuffing. We're going to need a bigger bowl. Yeah, we're going to need a bit of a bigger bowl. The issue is that I do not have the means of a bigger bowl. And this is where the issue arises. We're like, oh yeah, I need a bigger bowl. I acknowledge I need a bigger bowl. However, comma, I do not have a bigger bowl. So I'm trying to sort of think on the fly and trying to manage an idea here. Because I do have an idea of how to do this, It is just now a matter of how am I gonna make this happen? Because actually, it's very simple what I'm gonna do. Because remember, this is only half the stock. The other stock is in here. I'm simply actually just going to put it like this. And just this. Yeah, I'm just gonna mix this all together. Because, anyways, to what I keep, so you might be wondering why I keep calling, like, this stuffing bread pudding, because that's the thing about what I'm making here. I'm not really making stuffing in what you would think, because stuffing, you stuff it in a goddamn bird, right? You use it to stuff something, right? So, what this is truly turning it into, it's in essence, in reality, turning into a savory bread pudding. Except that I'm not really adding a custard because I don't feel like wasting egg, and if my parents are that upset that I'm missing egg, I'm gonna have to ask them, hey, next year, can you please give me a bit more of a budget? Nope. But yeah, now there's plenty of green stuff, orange stuff, other stuff. Gonna just mix this together. And also, I'm gonna add, slowly incorporate the other breadcrumb, diced bread, because then it will all not solidify. No, it will not solidify, but hydrate. Honestly, if I wasn't a little baby, which now I'm thinking about that right now, hydration check. Thank you. I should actually get some. Anyways, I'm not gonna be such a baby. I'm going to now just use my hands, cause being dramatic. Sorry. Gonna mix this all with my hands. Something that I was told by one of my chefs, and I will always think about it even to this day. One of the greatest tools we have ever been given in our lives are these right here. So usually, the thing about what I'm making here too, oh no, I already mentioned that, but I'll mention it again. Usually often people will actually put egg in this, so it more or less coagulates a bit better. But I don't think that's really the thing to worry about, honestly. Damn. Ooh, this smells really nice though. You can smell that rose. You can smell all the fresh herbs. Thyme, the rosemary, the sage, everything. Garlic's very mild. And I am realizing there is one fatal issue that I have done this bread pudding. And it might make it bad, it might not really matter, because you can always add more if you really want more. But I forgot the salt. I know, one of the most important integral parts when you make food. But, know what you know what they say, always add more. Also, Tabaru, thank you for the hydration check. I really actually need water. So I appreciate you reminding me to hydrate. That being said, this is also you in chat. This is also your chance to go hydrate yourself right now. sure you go do that. Treat yourself to a glass of water, or a bottle or can of energy drink. Whatever keeps you going, make sure you stay hydrated. Pick your poison if you will. I don't care. Do what you want. And also, I'm realizing, holy shit, I made a lot of bread. I think so much bread, I don't even really need this much bread. Which is nice, because now I can kind of actually... What is it? More confidently say I think I had enough bread to make the stuffing. I know when I was making the stuffing, I was actually quite concerned of, oh shit, I might not have enough bread. But I feel a little bit more relieved knowing that I didn't have enough bread. But it's quite funny with this, because it really does. I don't care that I'm talking about my own food in such a way. If you look at it and you take a step back, it does kind of look like cat food. It kind of does just look like just random mashed of food. Like, I would go as far as say it looks like dog food. Being said, my parents, everyone else, probably say, "Oh my god, Salty, this is the best food we ever had because we never eat food before." I gotta find my secret ingredients here. This is also said secret ingredient. You can't smell it, but it's the smell of applewood. This is my secret ingredient. And I'm gonna add it now, since actually this is kind of nice that I didn't add any salt. That is a whole bunch of smoked salt. And also, just because I'm Asian and my parents are gonna have to deal with it, I'm just gonna add a little bit of MSG. Missed opportunity of flavor is never taken. What kind of bread did you make for this? A whole lot of sourdough. I don't know how many loaves of sourdough I ended up making, but I'm pretty confident to say that I at least made more than 3. And now, this is where I actually have to make sure I really put my hands in this one, because I want to make sure that salt gets really nicely mixed to everything else. It'd be really bad if I don't mix it all in, because then there's going to be like little patches of salt here and there, and nobody likes getting a mouthful of salt in their food. Be nice, evenly, and dispersed. It has stock, it already has plenty of MSG. Well, no, actually, there was no added MSG. Naturally, there is a lot of umami, but I also think, what's the word? It's just nice to have more. There's no such thing as too much of a good thing, you know? I can actually ask my job tomorrow. I'm thinking about this out loud here. I can probably ask my job, like, hey, can I steal like 4 eggs from you guys? Natural MSG, of course, and the other umami tasting components. Hi, Pomp, by the way. I'm not ignoring you. I promise. I'm just talking, not thinking. I do see ya, so hi. I'm like the worst streamer. I gotta continue to say it, alright? But like, really, I see a chat, and like, instead of like acknowledging that chat right away, it's just like, oh, I'll get to talking about, and then I'll talk to them eventually. And then I forget about them. And then I realize I forgot about them, and then I start feeling like shit for the next few while. Okay. There we go. That is the stuff. Bam. Yeah, I hope this is enough stuffing, because my mother and other people keep explaining to me, Salty, please, we need a lot of we need a lot of stuffing. A lot of stuffing! It's like, okay, I get it. I also do need to taste it right now, so I'm gonna take a little taste here. Taste test. Yeah, that's pretty good stuffing. Yeah, and that's that. And all of this stock is not gonna go to waste, but it's definitely gonna be extra for now. Alright, that's that. That's stuff. But there is one more thing I like to do when it comes to making stuffing. So I usually do this like maybe the time beforehand, but I see the opportunity to do it now, so I'm going to. But I like putting little knobs of butter on top so it can get more rich and there's more flavor and butter and all this and that into the stuffing. But if I can do it right now, I don't see why I shouldn't do it now, you know? So, I have my stuff, I have my peeler, and I know this looks weird. For the lads that probably haven't seen me do this before, why am I peeling butter into a, why am I peeling butter into the, instead of like cutting it? Because I can get more evenly dispersed and put this stuff on top, you know? Better with butter. Yes. Just like, oh shoot, what's her name? Not Betty Crocker. What's her name? She's French. She learned French cooking. Oh, fuck, who's... She invented the dish coq au vin. There was a rap battle between her and Gordon Ramsay from Epic Rap Battle to History. What's her name? She's a lady, very popular for known and history of making, introducing French cooking into Americans. Julia Child! Thank you! Yes, Julia Child. That's like her catchphrase, I believe, no? And also, I kind of gave up peeling the butter because, it started melting. My hands are just too hot. And as you can see, it's a lot nicer when I peel the butter versus like making these little spots of butter. So, you know. The proof is where the pudding is. The proof is in the pudding, sorry. Oi. Oh, I'm gonna put this away for now because move it now. It's all done. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's that. Fortunately, now I got a bit of an issue of that I have too much food and I have nowhere to store it. So I'm gonna have a whole lot of turkey stock in the future. And also have a whole lot of bread, diced bread in the future. Well, a good problem to have, because now I can make more food and all this and that, but there is a such thing as too much food. And I'm currently having that issue of too much food. I'm only all but a small little guy, and I can't eat all this much food. Anyways, that aside, here's some bread. Which I think we're actually probably ready to start shaping. That's a plus. shape it all out. Just how I did the other day. And just as I suspected, the shaping isn't really going to be I already did. That's a plus. Oh, just like the other day. Ordeal, sing song and dance. One log there, log here. Now I'm gonna let that rise and proof. Go. And I think that is definitely think I'm gonna try and strain that turkey stock. I'm just trying to figure out where. It's 7:33. Gotta start thinking about cleaning here. Space. Oh, there's an issue. I don't have space to put everything. Perhaps this is something I'll figure out off stream. I should probably clean this bowl. Okay. Let's see. I think that's enough of this for now. So do I have enough drag? I need. Alright. Hey. Just before I take this all to the trashy, take this there, two, there, close that. I need to quickly grab, not you. Well, I guess you shred that up later and do. Right. Means I'll shred this probably all off stream. Right. I will be right. Looks like there's a lot of recoverable in there. Yeah, there is. But I honestly, well, this is a bone. This is already shredded up from the boiling. This is a neck. This is a liver. Yeah, all of it is possibly usable, but I don't really need all of it. Plus, I already have plenty from this. So, all right. Yeah. I know I'm also just like realizing, because I was realizing it as I was walking out. Wow. I am all but a little bit of a liar, since I was talking about, oh yeah, no waste, no waste. But technically I just did waste a whole lot of meat there that I could have used. Honestly, I don't need all of it, so I'm not gonna use all of it. So, yeah. If I really, really wanted to, I definitely could, but your lad, your boy, your baker, etc. in between is feeling lazy tonight. Here we go. Whew. Got a whole lot of work ahead of myself here. Not really excited for it because it's a lot of it's just a lot of complicated TLDR. It's a lot of stuff to figure out. Meat. It's a lot that I have to try and figure out now. More importantly, yeah, it really is just the issue of all this stock. There's a lot here to work with. It is really nice. It's nice this amber. It's this nice amber color. I guess my other option is to possibly freeze. I do have space in my freezer for things here, but Not sure is that's gonna be action or not. Oh, hey. I definitely need to freeze this. Yeah, remember, I think the other day, Sunday, my beef stock I made that I'm going to be using for the... Ooh. Nice and coagulated. That's good. Lots of collagen. So it's nice and... So there's a lot of... Well, collagen. That's good for skin and all that whatnot. There. And it shall be used down the line for maybe perhaps a future stream. Okay. Face. Pro. Cheek. Okay, let's see. I think I just somehow managed enough space. Gonna see how many quarts of stock I got. Actually, the best thing to do, realize this now. The best thing to do now with all this stock, if I really wanted to maximize and really try and not only get the best flavor, but also if I'm worried about storage, should actually just reduce it. Feels so great when I can actually use my itty bitty little bean. Yes, instead of making individual quarts, I should actually reduce it down. Yes, I am smart when I want. But yeah, reducing that down, just gonna let that go and boil. And yeah, that's all my problems I've now figured out. And unfortunately, this bread is gonna take a long time until it is ready to go into the oven. It doesn't even feel right, ready yet. So, I'm gonna mess with it now. Move it a little. That should be good. Alright. Whew. I believe that is what most would call a job well done. Ugh, smell like food. Smell like a lot of food, honestly. Okie dokie. I think I am good for now. I am quite tired in my bones and body. I don't know why, but I'm sore, and that is a bit of an issue. So I think it's best that I actually sit my ass down for the evening. Also, it's a little warm. Okay, let's see where I can send you guys off to. Actually, there's a few options to where we can send you guys off to. We have Fenari. We could raid into her, but big number's scary. We can raid into. Actually, you know what? I haven't really raided into. I haven't had opportunity to raid in her very often. So let's go raid into someone named Mrs. Julie B. Baking. We will be sent off to the trash, and our meat will not be used. Yeah, pretty much. That's the epitome of today. Oh, hold on. Alright. Okay. I am gonna be sending you guys all to Miss Julie B. Here is our raid message if you would like to use one. Yeah. That's our raid message. Copy, paste it, put it in the chat, do whatever you'd like. We are gonna go say hi to Miss Julie B. She is currently playing a game called Little Witch in the Woods. Sounds like a fun little cozy game. And yeah, I am tired. I gotta go rest and turn on the AC and do dishes and this and that. So I got a lot of things I still need to do. Anyways, I hope you guys had fun. Thank you all for tuning in today. I hope you guys have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, night, or evening. And thanks for spending your evening with me. LLD. Alright. Guys, have a good rest of your night, or whatever time zone you are reading. Reading? Wherever you're watching this, I hope you have a good rest of your time. So, Saltea Kichee, everyone, and ciao. Bye bye.